The 8 new archaeological discoveries in Africa that challenge everything scientists know about humankind. Hello everyone. Africa, the continent often referred to as the cradle of humanity, has always been an endless source of inspiration for scientists and archaeologists. However, recent archaeological discoveries here are challenging everything we thought we knew about human history, from ancient forgotten ruins, strange fossils, to mysterious mummies. These discoveries not only open new chapters in human history, but also change the way we perceive the process of evolution and the development of humankind. So, what surprising and mysterious discoveries have archaeologists and scientists made recently? Let's dive into it in today's video. The 3-million-year-old stone tools. Africa, a land of history and untold mysteries, is home to one of the most significant archaeological discoveries of humankind. Specifically, at the Homa Peninsula in Kenya, also known as the Cradle of Humanity, archaeologists have recently uncovered ancient tools dating back as far as 3 million years. These tools are small stone knives with sharp edges, which scientists call the Oldowan toolkit. They are priceless artifacts that helped early hominids access a wide variety of foods they hadn't encountered before. These sharp stone knives allowed them to peel, cut fruits and vegetables, and even butcher hippopotamus meat. This marks a major turning point in the development of survival habits and skills among our ancestors. Moreover, the use of stone tools played a key role in the development of hominids, not only in terms of body size, but also in brain development, which helped them evolve further in their way of life. Archaeologist Tom Plummer from the City University of New York also emphasized that these tools helped hominids not only access a rich food supply, but also gave them the ability to master their environment. This stimulated the development of both the brain and the body, leading to the emergence of more advanced survival skills in the future. Additionally, one of the fascinating discoveries was the hippopotamus bones found near the tool site, confirming that hominids engaged in animal butchering, something for which there had been no clear evidence before. The discovery of these Oldowan tools on the Homa Peninsula is not just a breakthrough in archaeology, it's a window into the distant past of humanity. These findings not only answer questions about our origins, but also help us better understand the early stages of intellectual and civilizational development. This serves as clear evidence that Africa is the birthplace, the starting point of the great evolutionary journey of humankind. The oldest mummy of a child. You've probably thought that Egypt is famous for its remarkably well-preserved ancient mummies. But no, this might not be the place with the oldest mummy. Instead, Africa is the true keeper of the oldest known mummy. Deep in the desert mountains of southwestern Libya, researchers have discovered the mummy of a child named Tashwinat, which predates Egyptian mummies by over 1,000 years. Specifically, in the winter of 1958, archaeologist Fabrizio Mori explored a shelter in the Uwan Muhugiag cave, a place once inhabited by pastoralists. Mori found ancient remnants in the form of rock art depicting humans, animals, livestock, and many drawings from various periods. But when he started digging beneath the soft sand of the cave floor, he uncovered a strange bundle buried near the surface. The bundle, made of goat or antelope skin, contained the dried body of a child wrapped in leaves. The child had undergone a mummification process, with the internal organs removed after death through incisions on the abdomen and chest. This process, known as evisceration, involved replacing the organs with herbs, likely for preservation. The child was found in a fetal position, with a necklace made of ostrich eggshells around its neck. Analysis showed the child had dark skin and had died at around 3 years old. Carbon dating places the age of this mummy at approximately 5,400 to 5,600 years old. During the child's lifetime, the Sahara Desert was vastly different from today. The people who lived in Uwan Muhugiag resided in a much greener landscape. During this period, sometimes referred to as the African wet period, the Sahara was covered in grass, trees, and lakes, supporting the life of pastoralists in the area. Further evidence that the region around Uwan Muhugiag was much wetter than it is today comes from rock art depicting elephants, giraffes, crocodiles, while fish bones and ancient fishing tools have been found at other sites in the Sahara. Currently, scientists are still unsure whether the mummification practices at Uwan Muhugiag, which predate those in Egypt, influenced Egyptian mummification. However, the Tashwinot mummy shows that mummification in Africa has a much deeper and more complex history than experts previously thought. Researchers hope to conduct more analyses on this mummy in the near future to provide the public with the most accurate answer. Alien burial ground. Recently, a group of archaeologists discovered a mysterious burial site in the dense forest near the capital city, Kigali, in Rwanda, Central Africa. The skeletons found here had unusual shapes, not quite resembling humans. According to scientists, they were buried around 500 years ago. At first, scientists thought they were the remains of an ancient human species, but evidence showed that the surrounding area did not contain any signs of human habitation. What's particularly strange is that in one of the 40 shared graves, there were about 200 bodies, all well preserved. Some archaeologists believe these might be the remains of extraterrestrials, potentially killed by viruses on Earth to which they had no immunity. However, no traces of a spacecraft have been found in the area, not even a single fragment. This is not the first time unusual graves have been discovered. In the summer of 1937, a team of Chinese scientists led by Professor Chi Pute uncovered caves in the Bayan Karaula Mountains. Inside the caves, they found skeletons with unusually large heads and strange bodies. Nearby, there were 176 stone tablets, each with a hole in the center, inscribed with mysterious characters. Additionally, the cave walls were etched with depictions of the rising sun, the moon, and stars, with many lines drawn as dots. For 2 decades, experts worked to decode the ancient writings in the Bayan Karaula caves. Eventually, Professor Zoom Umchu from Peking University deciphered many of the symbols, revealing that around 12,000 years ago, some celestial bodies fell in the mountainous region. Interestingly, not long ago, in one of the ancient Egyptian tombs, a mummy was discovered that was over 8 feet tall, with no nose or ears, a wide mouth, and no tongue. According to archaeologist Gaston de Villars, the practice of mummification began around 4,000 years ago. The individual buried was an Egyptian noble, surrounded by the mummified remains of servants, food, drinks, and many burial items to maintain their daily life in the afterlife. However, researchers noticed that not all burial items belong to Egyptian culture or any known culture on Earth. For example, among the burial items were glossy discs inscribed with strange writing, clothing made from metal, and shoes made from a plastic-like material. Many stone tablets depicted images of stars, planets, and strange machines. The tomb's shrine also contained a strange mummy, and many religious artifacts were made from materials unknown in ancient times. The tomb's walls were cut from solid rock, making the surfaces perfectly smooth and glossy, almost as if they were cut with a laser. Some areas showed signs of melting stone to bond the materials. The tomb was decorated with lead-like materials. However, the theory of extraterrestrial involvement is not the only one. Some researchers suggest another hypothesis, that the giants and dwarfs may have been a branch of humanity once living alongside us, but eventually wiped out for reasons unknown. Of course, this remains a theory, and the truth is still a mystery. Do you think extraterrestrials exist? What's your take on this question? Let me know in the comments below. Willow wood poles from 476,000 years ago. Africa, the birthplace of humanity, has once again opened a new chapter in history, revealing secrets of the distant past through an extraordinary archaeological discovery. At the Colombo Falls in Zambia, Africa, archaeologists have unearthed 2 willow wood poles that are approximately 476,000 years old. A discovery that not only changes the way we perceive prehistoric humans, but also highlights the timeless creativity of our ancestors. One of the poles is about 4.6 feet long, while the other is around 4.9 feet in length. Both poles were shaped with stone tools, demonstrating an astonishing advancement in the crafting and use of natural materials. Larry Barham, an archaeologist from the University of Liverpool and the leader of this study, explained that these poles could have been used for various purposes, including storing firewood, preserving food, and even serving as foundations for temporary structures like tents. This discovery clearly shows that our ancestors were not simply wandering hunter-gatherers, but they had the ability to build wooden structures, demonstrating life skills far beyond what we once imagined about prehistoric life. According to Barham, crafting these poles was no easy task. It required meticulous skill, careful planning, and the proper use of tools. Interestingly, although no human remains were found at Colombo Falls, Barham suggests that these poles were most likely made by Homo heidelbergensis, a species that lived around 700,000 to 200,000 years ago. This species had larger skulls and flatter faces compared to earlier hominins, emphasizing the evolution of cognitive and creative abilities in our ancestors. This discovery not only expands our knowledge about prehistoric humans' ability to craft and use tools, but also proves that they had the ability to alter their environment to meet their survival needs. These wooden structures indicate that prehistoric humans, like Homo sapiens, had the capacity for long-term settlement and the construction of wooden buildings, a trait previously thought to belong to later civilizations. Thanks to the protective clay layers surrounding them, the two poles were preserved in an oxygen-free environment, preventing them from decaying over hundreds of thousands of years. Discoveries like this allow us to witness an important part of history, providing a fresh perspective on the lives of prehistoric humans, people who not only survived but also transformed the world around them through creativity and advanced skills. 200,000-year-old ancient tombs not made by our species. In June 2024, an excavation in South Africa sent shockwaves through the scientific community with the discovery of an ancient burial site containing the remains of a peculiar prehistoric human species. These remains did not belong to Homo sapiens, the species to which we belong, but to Homo naledi, an ancient human genus that resembled us but had very different features. These beings lived in trees and had much smaller brains compared to ours. This discovery represents a turning point in our understanding of human evolution. The remains were found 98 feet underground in the Cradle of Humankind cave system near Johannesburg, South Africa, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. These tombs were not only surprising because of their existence, but also because they revealed that burial practices appeared much earlier than previously thought. The research team, led by Dr. Lee Berger from the University of Witwatersrand, stated that these burials could have occurred around 200,000 years ago, at least 100,000 years earlier than the evidence of Homo sapiens burial practices. Homo naledi was a species with a brain the size of an orange and stood about 5 feet tall. They had bodies with many ape-like features, with arms and legs not fully suited to using tools or engaging in complex behaviors such as burying the dead. Yet the act of burial performed by this species shows that their cognitive abilities and social behaviors were much more complex than we once thought. Notably, burial rituals, once considered a trait unique to modern humans, were carried out by Homo naledi at an early point in the evolutionary timeline. This discovery raises significant questions about human evolution, suggesting that our development might not be a linear path, but rather a complex network, with species like Homo naledi potentially achieving social and cognitive advancements before their extinction. This research also alters the way we view ancient human species, especially behaviors once thought to be exclusive to Homo sapiens. To further understand the development of humanity and burial practices, scientists continue to excavate and study these remains at the Rising Star Cave System. This site is famous for its discoveries of other ancient human species and promises to reveal even more surprises about our evolutionary process. Let's stay tuned for what comes next. Extremely rare. Fossilized footprints of ancient humans. In Tanzania, on the east coast of Africa, researchers have discovered a group of ancient human fossilized footprints. These footprints, estimated to be thousands of years old, are the remains of a group of 17 ancient people who walked through this area. What is surprising is that despite having endured for thousands of years, these footprints are still perfectly preserved to this day. With more than 400 footprints, this is the largest group of human fossilized footprints ever discovered in Africa. Scientists believe this discovery offers an insightful glimpse into the life of humans during the late Pleistocene period. It not only helps us better understand the daily activities of ancient humans, but it also indicates a division of labor within communities at that time. Kevin Hatala, a paleontologist at Chatham University in Pittsburgh, stated that this is an extremely rare discovery, providing fascinating direct windows into the distant past of humanity. Through scientific analysis and verification methods, researchers estimate that these footprints date back to between 19,100 and 5,760 years ago. Notably, based on the size, spacing, and direction of the footprints, scientists suggest that they were primarily made by a group of adult women. Further analysis also shows that the group likely consisted of 14 females, 2 males, and 1 child. This paints a picture of gender division and labor within the ancient human community. Meanwhile, Professor Cynthia Lutkas-Pierce from Appalachian State University, a co-author of the study, explained that these footprints were preserved in a unique black lava rock from the old Doño Lengai volcano, an active volcano to this day. The solidity of the volcanic ash helped protect the details of the footprints, preventing them from eroding despite the surrounding area having undergone thousands of years of natural disasters. The researchers believe that these footprints are not only biological traces, but also provide a unique depiction of collaborative foraging behavior and gender division within the late Pleistocene human community. This is an important discovery, opening up opportunities for scientists to continue researching and understanding the lives of our ancestors during a period of history full of mystery. Fossil of a strange ankylosaur. Dinosaur. A fossil of a strange ankylosaur dinosaur recently discovered in Africa is causing excitement within the scientific community. This is one of the rarest and most important discoveries, not only because of the uniqueness of the fossil, but also because of the surprising appearance of this dinosaur in a region where its presence had never been recorded before. So what makes this dinosaur special, and why is finding its fossil so significant? Ankylosaurs are a group of dinosaurs that were famous during the Cretaceous period, characterized by their thick armor with sharp spines on their backs, an excellent defense mechanism against predators. Previously, ankylosaur fossils had mainly been discovered in North America, with a few small findings in areas like Asia. However, this time, scientists have discovered the fossil of a new ankylosaur species originating from the Middle Atlas Mountains in Morocco, Africa, marking the first appearance of this dinosaur group on the continent. What surprised scientists was the sharp spiny armor on the back of this dinosaur. According to research published in Nature Ecology and Evolution, the sharp spines were not just an external feature, they were directly connected to the animal's skeleton. This is a characteristic never before seen in any dinosaur species. Typically, the spikes and armor of dinosaurs like Stegosaurus or Ankylosaurs are attached to the skin, not the skeleton. However, with this new ankylosaur species, the sharp spines are firmly connected to the skeleton, even attaching to the animal's ribs. This fossil is dated to around 168 million years ago, during the middle of the Jurassic period, meaning it could be one of the earliest ankylosaurs to appear on Earth. This dinosaur has been named Spicamelus, reflecting the distinctive feature of its spiny armor and the location of its discovery. Dr. Maidment, a paleontologist at the Natural History Museum in London, believes that this fossil is entirely different from any known species, from its bone structure to the formation of its armor. Therefore, with the discovery of Spicamelus, scientists hope to make further discoveries about the dinosaur species that lived in Africa during the Jurassic period. This not only expands our understanding of the distribution and diversity of dinosaurs worldwide, but it also provides more clues about the planet's ecological history in the distant past. 16th century treasure. It all began on an ordinary day when a group of miners off the coast of Namibia, Africa, stumbled upon the wreck of the Bom Jesus, a Portuguese ship that sank in 1533 while en route to India. The ship not only contained gold, silver, and other valuable materials, but what particularly amazed archaeologists and biologists were the discovery of over 100 African elephant tusks. At the time, scientific research indicated that these tusks were not simple items. They were vivid evidence of the diversity of wildlife in the past. Genetic and chemical analyses revealed that these tusks came from African forest elephants, Loxodonta cyclotis, not savanna elephants. This was a fascinating discovery, as these herds had either disappeared or drastically declined due to poaching and habitat loss. The incredible preservation of the elephant tusks was also a remarkable phenomenon. When the Bom Jesus sank, copper and lead bars wrapped around the tusks pushed them to the ocean floor, forming a natural protective layer that kept the tusks from being scattered or eroded. In addition, a cold ocean current in the region played a crucial role in preserving the DNA within the tusks. Scientists successfully extracted DNA from 44 tusks, and the results showed that they all came from at least 17 different forest elephant herds scattered across West Africa, offering a vivid picture of the past ecosystem and ivory trade network. However, the discovery didn't stop at valuable materials. It also provided vital information about ecological history. Carbon and nitrogen isotope analysis of the tusks revealed that these elephants didn't only live in dense forests, but also roamed grasslands, challenging the previous understanding that forest elephants exclusively inhabited tropical forests. Moreover, the research uncovered an important aspect of the historical ivory trade. The fact that the tusks on the Bom Jesus came from multiple herds suggests that West African communities were actively involved in a thriving ivory trade network during the 16th century. However, it remains unclear whether the Portuguese traders collected the tusks from a single port or multiple ports along the West African coast. Perhaps to answer this question, further analysis will be needed, which may provide deeper insights into these historical trade networks. Recent archaeological discoveries in Africa not only expand our understanding of human history, but also raise many new questions about the origins and development of humans. Each discovery is like an important piece, enriching the broader picture of our past. These studies prove that, despite what we already know, the history of humanity still holds many unanswered mysteries, and new discoveries will continue to change the way we view ourselves. What impresses you most about Africa? Let me know by commenting below. For now, goodbye and see you next time.